Well, it's once again time to talk about the news. I know I haven't done it in a while after what I've been through, but I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video as far as the stent removal, which was pretty uncomfortable. It only lasted a minute, but I don't ever want to go through that again because you're awake for that. But anyway, let's talk about what happened at Roosevelt Field last night because nobody seems to really be interested in what happened at Roosevelt Field last night. Another incident at Roosevelt Field. I saw when I got there last night, this was yesterday, around 8:45, a whole bunch of ambulances, like 2 or 3, count one ambulance, there's another one over there, and then lots of cop cars, at least 8 cop cars here by the Macy's at Roosevelt Field here. We'll just zoom that in a little bit so you can see. Whoop, nope, that's not what we're looking at. But anyway, here's what happened last night, and this is the only place I can find any information on about it. There was no shooting. It was just kids playing. Police are on scene. It actually says Uniondale. Actually, technically, the mall is in Uniondale. They say East Garden City, but that area is actually considered Uniondale, believe it or not. And it's really becoming like Uniondale. Police are responding to reports of shot fired at the second floor of Macy's at Roosevelt Field. But there was no shooting in the mall. Responding officers say there was no shooting in the mall. Instead, it was a group of kids that threw a trash can from the upper level down. I guess that's still pretty bad. They could have hurt somebody. So they took a trash can from the upper level of the mall and threw it down. Authorities say the can thrown sounded like gunshots. An increased police presence will remain at the scene as officials respond to the mall to investigate. No further details were made possible. So, again, this is another example. The media, this is the only place I could find a story on. You know, this is exactly the kind of mayhem that we're dealing with in the middle of the island. It's the classic example of it. I don't feel safe going to that mall. I don't even like changing buses there, let alone going in there, because you got a bunch of thugs in that mall. That is a thug mall now. It's no different from Green Acres. It may have a fancy stores, but it's no other than that. It's no different from Green Acres. It's a rowdy mall full of ghetto people. And this is what happens there. This is the kind of stuff you get in a thug mall. This doesn't happen in Garden State Plaza. This doesn't happen in Ocean County Mall. This doesn't happen at Smith Haven Mall. No, but Roosevelt Field, yeah, this stuff happens. And it's a shame. I could see some of the more upscale tenants starting to pull out if this kind of nonsense continues. So nothing in the news about this. I don't even think the Nassau County Police even have a press release on it. I don't even think they had a press release on it. Let me see. They might have had a press release on it. Let's just see if there is a press release on it here. Nope, they didn't even have a press release on it. Unbelievable. So no press release at all about this whatsoever. All right, so it's just another classic example of the crime that we're going through here. But don't ask Channel 12 about it because, well, they're not too interested in it. And then this happened. We're going to talk about this. This is the next breaking story. Person was struck and unfortunately killed by a train in Bethpage tonight. Not a whole lot of information on this. Laura Uli, I think, posted something on it. Let's get to Laura Uli's page. Yeah, this is what she has here. Fatality after male hit by train in Bethpage. Police are at the Bethpage LARR station reporting a male hit by a train, and unfortunately he died. This is by Broadway. Power is shut off in both directions. ESU is working on the scene. Alternative buses are being transported for commuters. So it was a huge mess on the trains. News 12 finally says, developing story. When you click on it, now there's a video. 18 seconds.
By a train.
18 seconds. Did they send a reporter?
Long Island Railroad officials say there are delays and cancellations on the Ronkonkoma branch in both directions. The train involved did not have passengers on board, and information about the victim has not yet been released.
So why is there no reporter on the scene? Why aren't you interviewing people on the on the railroad that were stranded and had their commute messed up by this? No, they only do 17 seconds. All right. Because again, they're serving a certain demographic. We all know the demographic they serve. So let's go to the railroad's Twitter now. We're going to go to the Twitter here, and this is there were a number of trains that were impacted here. 451 Penn Station, 18 minutes late. That's an eastbound train. 434 from Atlantic Terminal is canceled. That was due to equipment trouble. Customers can take the next eastbound train, 442 Penn, Far Rockaway, because there was congestion. 411 from Ronkonkoma doing Penn Station, 40 minutes late. All right. And it was being delayed at Deer Park. But what happened is everybody at Ronkonkoma got screwed because they canceled the 446 train from Ronkonkoma due to Penn Station at 6:10. And then they made people wait over an hour for the next train. That is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. And it says, take the 557 train from Ronkonkoma due to Penn at a station at 7:22, making all the same stops. Only on the main line you get this. They would never do that to people on the South Shore. 355 from Penn Station due to Ronkonkoma was canceled at Hicksville. And then people had to wait for the 454 train from Hicksville. And that must have been a nice little sardine can. 424 train from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma, canceled. Wait, another train on the Ronkonkoma line was canceled at Jamaica due to equipment trouble. So that's 2 trains that broke down on the Ronkonkoma line today. Two. I mean, they just love screwing the main line, don't they? And then there was a track addition at Mineola earlier on today. It's just unbelievable. Meanwhile, the pretty little Babylon branch, I was on it was running like a top. It was perfect. Not a problem in sight. So yeah, that's what you get on the South Shore. Only the best. So what did they cover? I mean, it's just not a whole lot of news here, and they were running only a half an hour news today. They talk about this. Westbury woman changed herself to a tree and actually spent 2 minutes and 39 seconds on a tree in Westbury. And I understand. I totally get it, man. You know, they shouldn't be cutting down trees. They want to cut down trees in Westbury. They try to do this crap in Mineola, too. It's unacceptable. You know, they just hate trees on Long Island, apparently. But yet, what about the pine barrens that are under threat? They never cover that. You know, I may be chaining myself to a tree at EPCAL if they try to cut down the pine barrens there. All right. So let's get to some of the crime here. Get to the crime going on, because there's a particularly violent crime that happened in Mastic Beach. Let's actually, no, I want to get to the Nassau County crime first. All right. Hillside. A lot of robberies on Hillside Avenue. But what I want to do is nobody's talked about this. Robbery attempts in Westbury. This was yesterday. Police reported multiple robbery attempts on Old Country Road between Glen Cove Road and Salisbury Park Drive in Westbury. The latest incident was reported by the Holiday Inn next to the caterers. Last seen at the mall by a witness in a sedan vehicle with tinted windows. And there's a police helicopter. Again, nothing on Channel 12 about that. Nothing. And again, I'm trying to find anything even on this about this. And I don't even see anything on the Nassau County Police. I don't see anything in the Nassau County Police on this. However, there was this homicide in Sands Point. Again, nothing on the news about this. This is an incident that occurred Saturday, April 16th, 9:10 p.m. at Sands Point. According to detectives, Sands Point police responded to a 911 call from a resident who was walking along the beach and discovered a dead body in the vicinity of 30 Plum Beach Point. The victim was pronounced dead by a Sands Point Fire Department ambulance and appeared to be male in his 50s. There's an investigation. Maybe it was natural causes, but again, nothing on Channel 12 about that. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. So I'm not going to cover with the South Shore news, because that always gets tons of stuff because it happened on the South Shore. This Channel 12 did cover this. Police but I'm not going to play their video because, screw them. Police are searching for 2 suspects who sexually assaulted a Long Island resident during a burglary of her home. This happened in Mastic Beach, 4 p.m., broad daylight. Now, it's Mastic Beach. Remember, that's the same neighborhood that lunatic was on the bus. All right? Maybe it's even worse than Coram. I don't know. 4 p.m., Tuesday, April 19th. Yes, it's on the South Shore, but it is not an enclave. It's an area that has been redlined. And Mastic Beach is the perfect example of redlining. It actually used to be a pretty decent area way back, and then it was just middle class, and then they wanted to start dumping all the problems in there. Police said 2 male suspects whose ages are not identified sexually and physically assaulted the victim and fled the scene with cash and property. The victim was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. As CPD said, the suspects were being described as black males, with one suspect wearing a dark hooded sweatshirt and dark pants with a white stripe, and the second subject wearing a light hooded sweatshirt and light-colored pants. Video of the suspects can be found here. So we can actually get a little video of them. Yeah. This is from the Suffolk County Police YouTube. Swagger walking. Yeah, there you go. You think it's just a myth when I say people who are swagger walking are up to no good. It ain't a myth, let me tell you. All right, so that's good. All right, we'll link that all below. So that's a crime right there. They actually are covering this. Okay, so they actually do have a report on this. Person was struck on the train on the tracks east of Bethpage section of the intersection of Broadway and Railroad Avenue. The incident happened shortly after 4:30 Thursday, April 21st. Crash may have been fatal. According to the LOR, the incident and subsequent investigation led to multiple delays. The name of the person struck by the train has not been released yet. Teen nabbed for robbery of Long Island rideshare driver. 15-year-old has been arrested on Long Island for allegedly robbing a rideshare driver at gunpoint and then stealing his vehicle. The teen was arrested in Riverhead Monday, April 18th, in connection with the robbery which took place Wednesday, April 13th. During the robbery, the teen allegedly pulled a gun and robbed the driver before taking his vehicle. The unidentified minor was charged with 1 count of robbery and remanded to the Suffolk County Court for arraignment. And hopefully he's not let out, but he probably will be because he's a juvenile. Probably will be let out, unfortunately. Probably will. Then there's this bad fire that happened in Islandia that Channel 12 actually did cover, but we're going to have to go way back in here because it's buried under all the other crap here. They did actually cover this yesterday. We got to go way back here. Let's see if we can find it. They got to go through all this, the new normal. Don't worry, I have a rant on them at the end of this video. Let's see. Right, this is the right. They barely cover this. This got like what, 21 seconds, no reporter, not even any video. Okay, here's the one. So they did actually do a good job covering this. There was a big fire at a BP gas station in Islandia. You'll see some video here for a moment. You see, this is really bad. They actually had to close off Vets Highway. This happened yesterday. Islandia's got some issues going on. It might actually be getting red lines. They actually closed the whole thing off. But Channel 12 did cover that. They did do the right thing there. Once in a while, they do the right thing and cover a story they should be covering. But most of the time, it's just all geared to a certain demographic, you know. So, and again, there's some crime here, but look at this. They don't even have a video of this. Man stole stuff from a Brentwood dental office early this month. I mean, come on. No, not even a video? Here's another one. 220 stolen from Dunkin' Donuts in Islandia. Islandia again. Police are searching for a man they say stole from the Islandia Dunkin' Donuts in March. Man entered Dunkin', located at 1966 Veterans Memorial Highway, on March 19th, approximately 6:15 p.m. This is when police say he handed a clerk $500 in large bills and requested change. The man then stole approximately 220 in smaller bills, where the clerk went to another register to get more money. The subject handed the clerk back a portion of the smaller bills, demanding his larger bills back. He fled in a dark-colored SUV, possibly a Dodge Durango. Again, no video. No video. So let's find out some of the news about Islandia too. The Islandia Stop and Shop is going to be closing. Yep, another hit for the middle of the island. Now there's going to be no regular supermarket in Islandia. Stop and Shop to close Islandia supermarket. The store has been underperforming and is set to close in May. Stop and Shop is set to close its Islandia supermarket on May 12th. The store, located at 1730 Veterans Memorial Highway, has been open for more than 20 years, but has been underperforming. Gee, I wonder why it's been underperforming. Probably because of all the crime going on there, the shoplifting, or they call it shrink or whatever. That's the technical term for it. But and the store has a lot of shoplifting. Sometimes they just close the store down. And because of all the criminals being dumped in that area, well, that's just another example of what goes on. It's yet another example of it. I mean, how many more examples do you need about what's happening? But no, not Channel 12 will not cover that. We can look at Channel 12 now. And see, they did the... So, again, I call them out over it. Again, because look at what they're covering on their Facebook here. And again, Yonkers. This has nothing to do with Long Island. They're covering news in Yonkers. Turn to Tara. This turn to Tara thing is absolutely ridiculous. So let's see, how much time does this crap get? 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Look at them. It's so obvious what they're going through. It's so obvious what they're gearing to. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's so obvious what they're gearing to. I mean, look at this woman. And did you see her interview with Eric Adams? I got to look for that. That was a freaking riot. We're going to find that. New York City, again. Why are they sharing New York City stuff on here? Oh, we'll get to the masks, too. We'll get to that, too. Again, they're covering that. That happened in Queens. And then here we go. The new normal. We discussed gas prices, the housing market, and the economy. 27 minutes. It's the new normal. Guess who they have again? Marty Cantor again. It's so obvious what this network gears to. It's all geared to these white finance professionals. Look at this.
So we're going to see the war.
It's all geared to these people in their enclaves. They don't care about the crime because they're not dealing with the crime. Housing market trends. With rising market, you get deep dive in the real estate market for our area. Tune in Fridays with mornings on News 12. Here we go again.
Rising recently, we are taking a look at the...
Look at these people. It's so obvious what they gear to. It's so obvious. They don't give a damn about the middle of the island. They don't give a damn about the middle class. They don't give a damn about minorities. And they don't give a damn about the disabled. No, they're only geared to these white finance professionals. And mainly on the South Shore. That's what it's all geared to. Look at this. I mean, this network is a joke. It's a joke. And they didn't even cover what happened at Roosevelt Field. How could you not cover that? Come on. It's ridiculous. Yonkers. What? It has nothing to do with Long Island. Who cares? I mean, this network is just a damn joke is what it is. Turn to Tara. I mean... Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and we'll get to this crime, too, obviously, because this is a classic example of what happened here. And I think this is a classic example of bail reform, right? And, yeah, even with the new revisions to the bail reform, this man is still out on the streets. 8 squad detectives report the arrest of a Bethpage man for a grand larceny from an automobile that occurred on Saturday, April 16th, 2022 at 7:40 a.m. in Levittown, what I call a fringe area, meaning it's not completely in the enclave, it's in the fringe of an enclave. According to detectives, officers received several 911 calls for a man going through cars and carrying a machete on Jupiter Lane. This is a dangerous guy. Hickory Lane and Mallard Road. So Jupiter Lane, Hickory Lane, and Mallard Road. I know exactly where that is. It's the northern part of Levittown. Police officers responded to the area and located the defendant, Vincent DeRosa, 40, of 539 Central Avenue on Farm Branch Road South. During a search of the defendant and his property, I believe he's from Bethpage, items were recovered that had been reported stolen from a vehicle in the area. The items were identified by the victim, and Vincent DeRosa was placed under arrest without further incident. The defendant, Vincent DeRosa, has been charged with grand larceny, 4th degree, and petite larceny. He was released on an appearance ticket and no bail. And this was after he was previously arrested on Thursday, September 16, 2021, and charged with harassment, 1st degree, and endangering the welfare of a child. He was released with an appearance ticket and no bail then. He's due back in court for that incident on May 18, 2022. This state is a damn joke. This state is a damn joke. How does somebody like this get on the streets? I don't even think Channel 12 even... They did cover this, but they didn't mention that he was let out. They didn't mention that. No, they didn't mention that. They didn't mention that at all. And then there's this thing. Under the gun. All right, we're going to go to this right now. Turn to tower. Turn to tower. I'm sorry. I'm tired. So, watch. Under the gun. Yes. This is a joke here. This is a joke. She acts like... First of all, he's talking about the gun violence again. All right? And now I'm going to call out Eric Adams. What about the woman that was pushed to her death on the subway by that crazy bum? All right? He didn't have a gun. What about all the stabbings going on? They don't have guns. This whole thing, this woman, Tara, she really gets on my nerves too. She is such a snob. You know, well, she lives in a very privileged area, I can guarantee you that. She should live in the ghetto and deal with all the crime going on. All right? She's sitting there like, you know, this is like a whole like thing for Eric. Look, they even have an ad. Eric Adams slams silence on rising crime. It's almost like a promotional thing for this guy. This guy, he's destroying the city. He's focused on the guns. He wants metal detectors in the subway. Metal detectors in the subway. You got to be kidding. This guy's out of his freaking mind. That's not going to stop some crazy bum from killing somebody. This guy is crazy. All right? No, what you need to do is do what Bloomberg did. Bring back stop, question, and frisk. All right? You got to stop and question suspicious people. The homeless people need to be forced to get help or go to jail. All right? That's what you need to do. But no, this guy is a huge disappointment. I am so disappointed in you, Eric Adams. And this whole thing with Tara Rosenblum under the gun, like she's criticizing him. Give me a break. Look, they're talking about race. They're talking about basically, you know, the typical stuff that liberal media likes to talk about. All right, you know, I mean, this is ridiculous. All right, like doesn't mean I'm conservative. Then they show Governor Kathy Hochul. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. You can watch it in the link. This whole thing was a freaking joke. And Channel 12 not only aired it a couple of days ago, they aired it again today. Ridiculous. And again, why is it on News 12 Long Island? What? This is not Long Island news. You know, it's a joke. It's a joke. Oh, and then we get to Governor Hochul. Let's go to that right now. Yes, we all know that the federal mask mandate has been struck down by a judge. But Governor Queen Kathy Hochul has decided that the masks are still required. So you know, basically, if you're riding any transit system in New York, you still got to wear a mask, which I think is ridiculous. It's time to move on, but she's incapable of moving on from the pandemic. Meanwhile, let's look at a governor who actually has some common sense. Phil Murphy says the masks will no longer be required on NJ Transit and South Jersey Transportation Authority. Individuals may wear a mask based on personal preference, informed by personal level of risk. And that's the way I'm going to do it. You know, if it's crowded, I'm going to have my mask on. If it's empty, I'm not. But if somebody's sitting by me, I'm going to have the mask on. All right? That's what it should be, up to the individual. Phil Murphy respects that. But no, not Kathy Hochul. No, Kathy Hochul is obsessed with the pandemic. You look at all her things. Everything is about the pandemic. Every damn thing about it. She's upset. She's worried about the hospitalizations are still low. This is all. Look at this. Look at that's all she cares about. It's so obvious what this woman, I'm trying to be professional here. I'm trying not to use the B word, but it's so obvious what she gears to. It's so obvious what she gears to. She's a corporate limousine liberal. She doesn't care about the people. She doesn't care about the crime going on. She's just letting more thugs out on the streets as she's closing jails because she wants us out. She wants to force us out of New York. And so then I have to go live in New Jersey. At least Phil Murphy cares about people like me. At least Phil Murphy and this is another thing Phil Murphy has done. Let's show you this here. No NJ Transit fare hike for the 5th consecutive year. That's right. While MTA keeps raising fares, NJ Transit hasn't raised fares at all. That's right, because again, you have a governor that actually cares about everybody. Imagine that. What a concept. Governor that actually cares about every single person. Doesn't matter whether you're rich, poor, disabled, black, white, Asian. He cares about everybody. But this woman here, she only cares about her own kind. She only cares about her own kind sitting pretty in their enclaves. That's all she cares about. That's all she cares about. And it's just, I had to call them out because it's unacceptable. You know, it's unacceptable what's happening in this state. And if, God forbid, this woman gets reelected again, yeah, you know where I'm going to wind up, and I'm going to be crying my eyes out and bawling my eyes out over it, all right? Because I'm not going to be able to survive in New York with these criminals on the streets, the crime going on that's continuing. We all know there's a certain demographic is sitting pretty. They're avoiding most of it, and I mean not all of it, but most of it. They're getting to have a good quality of life while the rest of us have our quality of life in the toilet, all right? And then you go to the media, and they don't really give a damn. You know, they don't care. All right, new Channel 12, they don't care. It's all geared to these people. It's all geared to these finance professionals. It's all geared to them. Bicycle, say here's a classic example. Let's see if they spent, not even a video on it. Talking about quorum, not even a video. Somebody who's struck. They don't care about the middle of the island. Sorry. It's all about the South Shore. It's all about again, guns. You know, the guns just don't go out and kill things, hurt people by themselves. It's these criminals. These criminals being let out of jail. All right? Now they're trying to pick on Tom Suozzi. Tom Suozzi is more conservative. He's more of a centrist. All right? Not like Kathy Hochul. All right? All right? And then they talk about the roads here. And they did a story, Channel 12 did a story on this, and guess where they were? In Wantagh. Don't have a video up, but they're in Wantagh. So, again, that shows you who they care about. Shows you who they support. Yep. And here's that exclusive interview. Again, there's so much crime in the subway going on. It's not just gun violence. Again, how is the mayor going to make New York City safe again? He's not making New York City safe. He's making it even more dangerous. It's unbelievable. Millennial money. It's so obvious what they gear to. It's so obvious what they gear to. Yeah, masks still required. We still have to wear a mask. You in New Jersey don't. I'm telling you, when I'm on the train, I don't have the mask on. Nobody says anything to me, all right? If the train is not crowded and nobody's sitting by me, the mask is off, all right? And I'm going to start to do it on the bus, too. I've had it. I've had it. It's time to move on. It really is time to move on. Freeport, prospective rezoning to make room for warehouses. You know, it's okay to put all the warehouses in Hicksville. That's okay. That's just fine, right? Another thing, they just love Eric Adams, don't they? Well, he's part of the plan. That's why they love him. Hochul, Adams, ruin our quality of life. Only a certain demographic is allowed to have a good quality of life, but those are areas we're not allowed to live in. That's the crux of the plan. That's how the plan works. We all know that. You know, I've spoken about it ad nauseum. I'm sure you're tired of hearing about it already, but that is what we've got. That is what we've got going on. All right. Oh, here we go. It is. I didn't even see this one. Valley Stream resident accused of punching this man and stealing phone. Okay, so this happened to Valley Stream resident Damian Turner, age 39, was arrested on Monday, April 18th, following an attack. The 56-year-old victim called 911 around 3:15 p.m. and said the suspect had punched him in the head and forcibly removed his cell phone after he tried recording the man during an argument in Valley Stream. The subject then fled the scene. Valley Stream is on the South Shore, but it is not an enclave. All right, because again, it's a more diverse area. It's not white. The area's got to be at least 85% white, 85% white. Otherwise, it's going to get redlined. That's what's going on. Yeah, it's racist. It's illegal, but they get away with it. Officers located and arrested Turner a short time later at his home near Ash Street and Broadway. He's charged with robbery and criminal mischief, along with criminal contempt from a prior case. Gee, and I bet he was let out. They don't say that, but I bet he was let out. You want to make a bet? He probably was let out. He was let out. So all this crime going on here. Oh, Firearm. Here we go. Another one. I didn't hear about this one either. See, I mean, I could go on and on with these crime things. You know, I'm trying not to because it just makes me stressed out. It makes me angry doing these videos. But every once in a while, I got to do them because, hey, you can't count on Channel 12 to do it. They're serving the South Shore. You know, they're serving those people, not us. You know, they don't care about us. Man found in possession of a firearm during North Valley Stream traffic stop. That's not a good area at all. 54-year-old man is facing charges after he was found in possession of a firearm after he was pulled over for driving with his door open on Long Island. North Valley Stream, 12:20 a.m. Officer saw a gray 2008 Chevrolet traveling east on Dutch Broadway. It's almost in Elmont, which is not a nice neighborhood, and crossed into the westbound lane with the driver's door fully open. We also pulled the vehicle over, noticed that the driver, identified as Neil Belcher of Queens, had bloodshot eyes and smelled of alcohol. They recovered a Raven Arms MP-25 pistol from his coat pocket. He's charged with second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, 2 counts of DWI, 2 counts of fourth-degree criminal possession of a weapon, criminal possession of a firearm, 2 vehicle and traffic law violations, and he was arraigned on Saturday, April 16th, and probably let out. So there you go. I mean, I can go on and on with these things. I could go on. Yeah, Bethpage, yeah. So this guy's from Bethpage. Again, middle of the island. 2-man nabbed for burglary. Oh, looks like this happened in the middle of the island, too. Police responded to a call for an alleged burglary in Riverhead. 625 East Main Street around 8 a.m. on Thursday, April 14th. When officers arrived on scene, they located and detained Shireen Giles, age 51, and Saquon Blount, age 23, both of Riverhead, after they attempted to flee. Both men were charged with burglary and held for arraignment. At this time, the burglary is considered to be an isolated incident. Police are asking anyone who may have witnessed or has information regarding the incident to contact Riverhead Police. So, were they held or were they released? It doesn't say. They probably were released. You know, I mean, that's what goes on here. This is what goes on here. Oh yeah, the body found at the beach. Oh, 4 busted in prostitution. I didn't even hear about this one either. Jeez, I know I haven't been doing the crime for a while, so I'm really behind. 4 busted in Hempstead for prostitution and drugs. Channel 12 didn't cover this one either. I don't remember seeing that, because I haven't been looking at this site for a week. 4 suspects were taken into custody on Long Island following a multi-agency investigation into drugs and prostitution. NCPD said the arrest of these 4 men, they were taken into custody during a bust took place before 3 p.m. on Thursday, April 14th in Hempstead. The joint investigation, so they arrested Walter Rage, age 39, of Beebe Street in Hempstead; Jose Cortez, age 50, of 112 Street in Queens; Marianne Mendoza, age 53, of Holman Boulevard in Hempstead; No Mendez, of St. Paul's Road in Hempstead. No other details regarding the investigation were released. Police say that Reyes and Cortez were both charged with third-degree promoting prostitution. Mendoza was charged with third-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance and fourth-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance. Mendez was charged with patronizing a prostitute. And Reyes, Cortez, and Mendez were scheduled to be arraigned on. They were arraigned on April 15th, and Mendez was issued an appearance ticket. So yeah, right out on the street again, right back into the Hempstead community right here. Well, let's see, we got another one. Yeah, 2 women arrested for prostitution. Comac, yeah, there he's going down the tubes too. I guess they're putting the proms there. 2 women were arrested on licensed massage and prostitution during a raid at a Long Island massage parlor. In response to numerous community complaints, authorities led by the Suffolk County Police Department concluded an investigation at Lee Foot Spa in Comac. We have tons of these places in the middle of the island, and you know what's going on there. Located at 1041A Jericho Turnpike at approximately 6:30 p.m. on April 15th, the Smithtown Fire Marshal issued 5 violations and 5 fire code offenses. Zhang, age 44, and Hong Li, age 43, both of Flushing, were charged with prostitution, unauthorized practice of a profession. They were arraigned on May 5th. They were scheduled to be arraigned on May 5th. It doesn't say. Probably got out. They probably got released on an appearance ticket. I'm just gonna really guess that's exactly what happened. 14-year-old caught with a loaded gun. Let's see. I don't remember hearing about this. 14-year-old boy was busted by police with a. See, this is what happens when I don't read this. So much crime because Channel 12 doesn't cover it. A 14-year-old boy was busted by police with a loaded semi-automatic handgun on Long Island after being called to investigate a group of unruly teens who were possibly armed. Officers from the Suffolk County Police Department received a 311 call shortly after 3:30 a.m. Friday, April 15th, where there were a report of teens possibly armed with guns in Huntington Station. They were in the area of Oakwood Road. According to a police spokesman, responding officers canvassed the area and located the group at approximately 3:40 a.m. on Fenwood Road and arrested a 14-year-old boy who was in possession of a Bryco 380 or semi-automatic handgun with 3 rounds in the magazine. The teens were taken into custody and charged with criminal possession of a firearm, second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, fourth-degree criminal possession of a weapon, and they were released to a family member. So there you go. It's a joke. It's a joke in this state. I'm telling you. This is all part of the plan. Sick all the criminals on us. The certain demographic people, the white finance profession, get to sit pretty in their enclaves of winning all this mayhem. But we're not allowed to live with them. We have to deal with this. Or we have to shut up and go live in New Jersey. Or somewhere else, for that matter. So I'm not going to do any more. That's enough. Video is long enough. But this is just some of the crime that you don't get to find out about when you're watching this network. Enough with the turn to Tara's. Who cares? I think Tara should be put in Hempstead, and she should be in Hempstead for a little while, I think, and see how she likes it, because she really gets me. I'm sorry. It's just unbelievable. But again, this is what this network gears to, and again, it's just the Long Island one that's like this. The other ones, they seem to gear to average people, but no, not Long Island, because again, it's part of the plan. You know that. So that's it. Have a good night.